question. The academy is open, as I said. And if you've seen the flyer, some of you are on my email list, and I've sent you the flyer that the academy is open. If you're on Facebook, on my fan page that you're watching me on now, the flyer is posted right there. If you are a part of the academy or my Perry Preachers, you probably already have that flyer. Okay, now what I did was I list some of the areas or the topics that I plan to talk about for 2018. We've covered some material in 2017. Anybody that's interested in that, you can go to my website and look at some of that material. But this year, we're really going to hone in on some other stuff. And one of the things that I want to talk about is how to identify your ministry gift. I'm well, thank you, soldier. How to identify your ministry gift. Now, I'm not going to go into that right now because I'm going to do that in the academy. Okay, so I'm not going through the whole breakdown of it, because then what am I going to talk about in the academy? But there is something that's bubbling in my spirit in regard to preachers, and I was really thinking about this, and I was talking to a few of my ministry friends about it, because it really had me a little uneasy, and particularly about women preachers. And I was just kind of thinking to myself, you know, what's going on with the women preachers in regard to who's on the circuit? Like, what name is buzzing? Who is the girl that everybody's getting right now? I haven't really heard, and y'all ain't got to put no names on the screen, but, you know, if you want, that's fine. But I just kind of was thinking, I remember when, you know, before I started, we're talking almost 30 years now. Before I started, you had Jack McCullough, Carolyn Showell, you had Iona Locke, y'all had Ann Story Pratt. Okay, hold on, Parker. You had oh my God, who did I miss? Rita Twigs. You know, I can't even think of, you know, a few of the women that was like real strong. And then you kind of had people like myself that was coming up. Debora Hooper, you had Tiny Lucas. Oh my God. Let me see who. See, that's what I'm talking about. Anointed Soldier is on it. You know, and a couple of other women across the country, you know, that names that we was everywhere. I was preaching 42 weekends out of a year. We were everywhere. But then, and this might unsettle y'all a little bit, we took a transition. The church took a transition, and we started seeing a lot of first ladies preaching. Let me take that back. We started seeing a lot of first ladies in the pulpit. We started seeing a lot of first ladies in the pulpit. As a result of that, what I found is that the more women first ladies that held the title of first lady was in the pulpit, the less I started seeing evangelists. And the less I started seeing bona fide preaching women in the pulpit. Now, if you agree with me, you can let me know if you agree with me. But I'm telling you, the less preachers I saw, the more first ladies I saw. And I'm not saying that every first lady is not a preacher. But I'm going to be honest with y'all. All these first ladies are not preachers. I said it. I said it. All of these first ladies out here that's standing up in that pulpit with that mic ain't preachers. I said it. I said it. My name is Dr. Debora Hooper. I approve the message, and you can come see me. Guess what? Not all of them. No. You got the mic. Your husband let you get up there. The church gave you a pass because they your members. But at the end of the day, if a lot of those women went to other churches, they would not know how to run a revival. Come on, y'all know I'm talking right on Periscope. They talking to me. I see your reactions on Facebook. I'm just going to be honest. Let's call it what it is. And I'm just going to put it out here because that's what my topic is. I'm sorry, but every preacher is not a preacher. Every preacher is not a preacher. And let me go here. Oftentimes, we give the men a pass. Men are getting a pass just because they're a man. But every man standing up there with that mic is not a preacher. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Come on, y'all. Y'all looking at it every Sunday. Y'all looking at it every Sunday. Y'all looking at it every Sunday. Okay, here it is. Let's look at this scripture because I know y'all need a scripture, because in the academy, I'm starting off with making sure you can identify and you know your ministry gift. We have got to get rid of this. Everybody's in the pulpit, because everybody don't belong in the pulpit. I don't know why I don't see all my comments up here on Facebook, but I will come back and look at them. For some reason, my screen is not scrolling no more. I don't know what's going on. But let's just get to it. If you got a lot to say, you can come on Periscope. But let's just get to it, okay? Every preacher is not a preacher. And I think it's important that you know that God has called you, watch this, not to preach, but to the ministry of the word. To the ministry of the word. I'm called to the ministry of the word. That's what I'm called to. The ministry of the word. Don't matter if I'm teaching, preaching, all that. I'm called to the ministry of the word. Everybody's not called to this. Can I say this to y'all? Because oftentimes we don't talk about ministry gifts. And there is a ministry gift called exhortation. Can I tell y'all that? Every person that can exalt is not necessarily a preacher. Every person that can exalt is not necessarily a preacher. Okay, on Facebook, can y'all see or hear me? Let me see. They telling me my signal dropped. Oh, Lord. Let me talk back. I'm seeing some reactions. Hold on a minute, Periscope. Let's see. Let me see. Hold on. Hold on. They're telling me they can't hear me on Facebook. So we got to make sure we right, because we got to get into this. The clock is moving. Got to make sure my people can hear me. Somebody go over there on Facebook and tell me if you can hear me. I think Parker just parked. Somebody go over here. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, can y'all hear me? Tanya Tucker, you just coming on. Can you hear me? They told me that the signal dropped. They wasn't able to hear me. I got to make sure my people can hear what I'm saying, because this is good. Y'all talk back to me. Let me know if y'all can hear me on Facebook, because I'm ready to roll. Put it in the comments. I need you to put it in the comments. Don't give me no reactions. I need to know. Somebody go on Facebook and let me know what's going on, because I need to start talking. Vanessa Hambrick, good to see you. You hear me on Facebook, NL? Okay. Melanie Boone, okay, good. Teresa, I sent you an email. Girl, what is going on with you? I love you. Please answer my email. Okay, let's get started. Let's get started again. So, I think y'all lost a little bit. Now, this is basically I'm talking today about sorry, but every preacher ain't a preacher. Okay, so I'm going to use some gullah language. Every preacher ain't a preacher. I don't know why I can't see my comments come up where I can see them. Let me see. Hold on a minute on this Facebook. I may have to get a little class on this one, because I can't see it. Okay, I was fine on Facebook. Okay, thank you, Dr. Joshua. I appreciate you. Okay, so now here it is. Be nice, Melody. Okay, so here it is. Every preacher's not a preacher. And one of the things that I have been thinking about recently is women preachers. Now, let me say this. I see the women preachers, and let me tell you what I see when I see women preachers today. This is just me. When I see women preachers today, what I see is pretty. When I see women preachers today, what I see that's different from many years ago is pretty. Okay, that's what I see. That's the thing that sticks out in my mind. Hair done, face beat, red bottoms, them blood shoes. I see, what is that? You know, I see the pins. I see the nice dresses. When I see women preachers today, That's really what I see. That sticks out in my mind. I'm kind of looking like, okay, I got you. But what I'm concerned about, now you got to hear my heart on this because I'm a ministry coach. What I get concerned about, God help me, is the content. I'm thinking, I hear you squalling, and I hear you going up octaves, and I hear you screaming, and I hear you giving punchlines, but where's the content? How does the story get lost? I don't necessarily see true deliverance happen in that service. And if you say to yourself, well, Hooper, if you so bad, why don't you let me see you preach? Well, holla at me. I'll come. Holla at me. Give me a preaching date. I love to come. But I'm going to be honest with y'all. A lot of people that's in this pulpit today, all these preachers ain't preachers. All these preachers are not preachers. It is what it is. And I'm going to say this because I said a little earlier today. There was a time when the evangelist was somebody that everybody got. Everybody got an evangelist. Now, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Every pastor needs an evangelist. Every pastor. If you per pastor in the church and you don't even have a pastor, you don't have an evangelist in your church, you need an evangelist coming in your church. God help me up in here today. Because an evangelist works with the pastor. The evangelist works with the pastor. The evangelist helps the pastor. Thank you, Isaiah. The evangelist helps the pastor. Watch this. Build the church. Why? Somebody tell me why. Why? Why is it that the evangelist helps the pastor build the church? Why is that? Somebody tell me why. 2 words. 2 words. The evangelist. Why are they so important? What is it that we do that makes us essential and vital to the ministry? No. It's not that post artist to set order. No. Somebody on Facebook tell me the evangelist, 2 words. We win souls. We soul winners, baby. We soul winners. Soul winners. If you don't want an evangelist in your church, you crazy. You done lost your mind. Because that's what we're anointed to do. That is what we anointed to do. And you want an evangelist in your church. That's what we do. Do the work of an evangelist. Isn't that in the Bible? Isn't that in the Bible? I see some more people coming in. Thank you all so much for joining me. My name is Dr. Debora Hooper. I am the ministry coach. Okay, thank you all for letting me know. Now I see your stuff coming up. Thank you, Facebook. I appreciate you so much. Okay, so here we go. You need an evangelist. So there was a day, Vanessa, as you know, we knew who the evangelist was. When it was January, a month like this, you already knew who was coming in your church. And you already knew your life was going to be changed. You bought your friends, your mama, your dog, your cat. You bought everybody. Your life got changed because guess what? The evangelist was coming in the church. The pastors wasn't intimidated. The pastors welcomed the evangelists, right? And we talked about some of those most prolific women. And, you had others, but you had some that was just much more prolific. They were full-time. They were on the circuit. I was telling somebody the other day, I was really inspired to go to Bible school because of people like Jackie McCullough and Callan Showell. They were getting their bachelors and their masters in theology. Now, we talking 20 years ago, everybody. Women wasn't doing that. You didn't have a lot of women in the black church. I'm giving y'all some history now doing that. Okay, so when I heard about them girls going to Bible school and somebody introduced me to a Bible school, I was like, oh yeah, because I don't want to be preaching and I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to be up there talking about something I don't even know what I'm talking about. I don't want to do it. I'm not doing it. I'm not joining that ministry. I'm not in it. Okay, so we had those women. Then, as the tables turned, right, you had the next group of women coming up, right? You had the Debora Hoopers coming up. You had Aziza Morrison coming up. You had Tiny Lucas coming up. You had Celeste Washington coming up. You had, oh God, I can't think of everybody, and y'all forgive me, but y'all know who was kind of in your area. They were kind of coming up, and we were everywhere. Am I talking right? We were everywhere. Then Tables turned. All of a sudden, had all these first ladies. This is before social media. That's right. That's why if y'all looking on Facebook or y'all looking on YouTube, you may not see a lot of videos and stuff like that of us. So those things may be really old. Susie Owens, exactly. I remember going to their church. Exactly. Powerful woman of God. There's so many, right? And so then took a turn. Then all of a sudden, a lot of first ladies. Women's Days, it was the first ladies. Mother's Day, it was the first ladies. Then you didn't hear so much about the evangelists because the pastors started utilizing the first ladies. Pastors started putting their wives in the pulpit. Right? Now, y'all look now. If you start looking now, and then let me go back because some names are coming to my mind. Cordelia Wallace, Sandra Riley. Sandra Riley is at John Hanna's church. But Sandra Riley goes back many, many, many years, y'all. Don't sleep on the sister like she knew because she ain't new. Okay? Now, here it is. Here it is. The first lady started coming in the pulpit. And when the first lady started coming in the pulpit, you saw less and less and less of the evangelists. Because then it was, I don't want to pay them all that money. I got to fly them in. I got to give them a hotel. I got to, give them a good offering. And so a lot of people start pulling back on the evangelists. But can I tell y'all this? We paying the price. We paying the price because all of those preachers that's in that pulpit today is not a preacher. Let's just look at Romans 10. I'm going to give y'all one scripture. Romans 10, verse number 15. Y'all already know the deal. Okay, somebody else joined the academy. Good to see you, Sanika Hibbett. We're gonna bring you up to par in a little bit as soon as we get off. And you can get access to the material that we already got. And everybody that's a part of the academy, let me slide this in there real quick because one of the things we do at the academy is that I recommend books. I recommend books. I recommend books. I recommend books. Okay, I used to have the book club, but I took the book club off because y'all didn't want to join the book club. Y'all don't want no books. Preachers today don't even want to read no books. Preachers today don't want to read no books. How am I doing over there, Parker? I see you on Facebook. Somebody got to make sure I'm doing okay. But in Hooper's Ministry Academy, I recommend books because you need books because you need resources. That's right. You need books because you need resources. It don't matter if you don't tap into that book until 5 years from now. At least it's in your library. So that's why I recommend books. When I went to Bible school, they was like, you need books, honey. And a good library for a preacher is 1,200 books for a good preacher. And if y'all notice, if you go into the office of an older pastor, somebody at least 50 and older, what do you see? Books. You see books. Okay, Teresa. But if you go into the office of younger preachers, you don't see a lot of books. You don't see a lot of books. You don't see a lot of books. No, you don't. I just said something right there. So let me get into it because I got to just kind of give you all these 3 points. But this is the book that I'm going to use in the academy for the month of January. Every month is a new book in the academy. Every month we do a webinar, and then every month we have a guest, and then every month we have a book review of a book that I recommend to preachers. Okay, this is the book. The Making of a Leader. You don't have to take a screenshot, Academy members, because you know I got y'all. This is the book. Now, this book, for those of y'all that's not going to join my academy, y'all don't want to be in it. You don't want these nuggets. You don't want to grow in your ministry. You don't want to invest in your ministry. Okay, I got you. I still love you. But this book you want in your life. Now, 2 things about this book. It's a great book. We're even going to look at an assessment. Looking at you assessing yourself being a preacher, because guess what I want to know? I want to know whether or not God has called you to do the very thing you said. Has God called you to do, good to see you, Linda, the thing you said he called you to do? Is your ministry legit? Okay, so we're going to use this book, The Making of a Leader in the Academy. This is for the month of January. Now, one of the things I like about this book right here is one of my favorite writers that handles leadership is this man right here, C. Peter Wagner. That's a name you need to know. This name right here. This name right here. All your pastors out here. And this is an old book. I get the classics. I get the classics because they don't water them down. C. Peter Wagner. Okay, he did the foreword. The deadline for the academy is Monday. That's it. We cutting it off because I only want the people that want what I have. Okay, so here we go. You got to be serious about you want to invest in your ministry. You really want to learn. You want to do better. You want to get your questions answered. You want protocol. It's all of that in the academy. We handle it all. DeboraHooper.com. Okay, so here it is. Now, this is the book we're going to use. I'll give y'all more information about it. Okay, but here's another book that I have by C. Peter Wagner. Your Spiritual Gifts. I'm telling you, this man is no joke. This is his other book. This is his other book. C. Peter Wagner. Your Spiritual Gift. An amazing book. He talks about 20 different ministry gifts. These are books that you can use to teach from, pastors. These are books that you can teach from, these books right here. You can study this and you can sit down with your ministers and you can start imparting to them. Okay, so if you're that pastor that's saying, I know I need to do something with my ministers. I've been telling them for the longest, but I haven't done it. I don't have the resources. I don't know what to do. I just recommended some books to you. Okay, but this one I'm going to review. And then there's some things in here, Academy members, that we're going to be looking at. And this is the book that I suggest. I'll give you the dates and all of that stuff. Okay. Our first webinar is January 15th. Y'all going to get the information, but I'm just putting this out here right now. January 15th is the first webinar with me for the year. It's just going to be me this month right here. We're going to talk about identifying your ministry gift. And here's the other piece to that, because you may be on here saying, I know my ministry gift. I ain't worried about that. I've been doing it. I know. I got you. But you know what? Another thing I want you to consider when I teach this class is there another one stirring? Because some of us have what we call a gift mix. Some of us have what we call a gift mix. Okay, I'm not sure, Pastor Don, but the author is the same, Frank Damasio. He was asking me, is there a new cover? Frank Damasio, and you could listen. Let me tell you all this. I got to get into my 3 points. I got to do it. I got a few minutes. I got to tell y'all this. Now, I do my webinars and I do these book reviews. And can I tell y'all this? I did a book, The Silent Sufferers. Now, what book was that? By Your Traditions. It was one of those books that I did. And you can go on my website and look at my book reviews or whatever. You can even purchase the downloads. 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Like, I cover a lot of stuff with book reviews and then just webinars. But there's sometimes when those books are like maybe $9. And then when I tell my academy, this is the book that I'm using for the month, do you not know that those books go up to $100? Do you not know that? Okay. When I do my book reviews, the book itself, the price starts rising online because my people are going to get the books. Okay. But again, these books will help you. So let me get into it. Every preacher is not a preacher. Now, according to Romans 10 and 15, and you can pull your Bible out and you can look at that. According to Romans 10 and 15, the Bible says, how shall they preach except they be sent? That's the A clause. That's what we call, if we stop right there, that's what we call the A clause. So if you were preaching and you just want to do that, you can tell the congregation, I'm only going to deal with the A clause right there. How shall they preach except they be sent? Okay, so here's the first one. Every preacher is not a preacher. So the first thing is the preacher has got to be called. They got to be called. It looks like on Facebook you guys are behind because y'all are giving me, y'all putting stuff on the screen about the evangelist, and I talked about that like 20 minutes ago. Y'all good on Facebook? Somebody go, Parker, where you at? I need somebody to go check on Facebook and see what are they hearing on Facebook. Are they current or are they behind? Because the comments that they're giving me on Facebook is about winning souls, and I talked about that like 15 minutes ago. It's delayed. How far is it delayed? I know that it does lag. I'm wondering if I need to go out and come back in. I wonder if I need to cancel this. Somebody go over there and kind of let me know. Come back over here and let me know what are they up to? Because I'm getting ready to go into my 3 points. And they still talking about evangelists and soul winners. Okay, I'm just pausing a minute because I'm trying to get some understanding what my Facebook people. Okay, I'm not behind as much. It's fine over there. Okay. All right. So here we go. Here we go. Every preacher ain't a preacher. We're seeing a lot of people in the pulpit today. But the question is, are you a preacher? This is what we're going to target. We're going to target this in the academy. Okay, we're going to target this in the academy in the month of January 15th. Because if you're going to be a part of this academy, you got to know whether or not you're a preacher. Everybody that say they're a preacher is not a preacher. They're not. It doesn't matter. And come on, y'all, we've given a lot of people a pass. We let you get up there. Well, the pastors let you get up there because you related to the pastor. Come on, y'all. The pastor let you get up there because you did the announcements and you got a nice voice. You got up there because you look the part. How many people have heard people say you look like a preacher? Now, I knew what they meant 30 years ago. But nowadays, if your hair is right, if you got on nice shoes, if you wear a nice suit, if you give a good offering, if you know how to be articulate, people, that ain't got nothing to do with being a preacher. Because if that's the case, Moses failed. Can I tell y'all this? I got to get into my 3 points because I don't want to keep y'all all day. Okay. The first thing is the preacher got to be called. The preacher got to be called. And the truth of the matter is 99.9% of us have never received a calling. Because there's only 2 people in the Bible that got a calling. It's only 2 people. Only 2 people in that Bible that got a calling. Where they really heard God called them to preach. And one of those is Samuel. Okay, so here it is. So when we really talk about in today's terminology, because y'all know terms change, right? So when we start talking about we've been called, what we're saying is we are impressed in our spirit with a passion to do something. Because you can be called to be a doctor. You can be called to be a teacher, right? That means you have an impression in your spirit to do something. And even a preacher has got to be impressed in their spirit for what they do. You got to be. Now here's point number 2 that works with it. Because if you're saying that you're called, how can they preach except they be sent? So if you're called, the person that's sending you has to send you with a message. We're the 100 people I'm talking to. The person that's sending you, which is God, because God is the one that drops it in your spirit, right? That passion to do ministry, that passion to handle the ministry of the word, that passion, because the first thing that's going to happen for a preacher is that you have a love for the word. You have to have a love for this. Hey, David, good to see you. You have to have a love for this. If you're saying that you are called to the ministry of the word, you have to have a love for this book right here. When you feel like it, when you don't feel like it, when it hits you, when you don't want to preach it, you got to have a love for this. Everybody standing in that pulpit don't have a love for this. This right here. You got to have a love to preach this effectively. You got to love what you do. I got David Frazier on here, the anointed man of God as a musician. And I'm sure he will vouch even as a musician. You got to love what you do. You got to have a passion for that thing. And guess what? This goes back to what I tell y'all about books. How you going to say you a preacher and you ain't even got a library? You a preacher, but you ain't got no books. You a preacher, but you ain't building your library to get books that can speak to you about this word to help you to put that sermon together. Really, preacher? Really, preacher? Are you serious, preacher? Thank you, Dolores. Are you serious, preacher? Thank you, Tanya Evangelist. Are you serious? Because any preacher is going to try to invest in a ministry. If you take what you do seriously, you're going to invest in it. How you invest in the clothes more than you invest in the ministry? Lord have mercy. I just said something. I'm about to run up out of here. How do you invest in what you wear than what you say? And you calling yourself a preacher. How you doing that, preacher? How you doing that? You'll get Netflix before you get a book. Are you serious, preacher? I often tell the story about at one time, at one time I was preaching a message on a woman with the issue of blood. You know what I did? I went out and bought a book on blood. Because that's how much I wanted that word to be. I wanted it to be so effective. So I figured if she lost all this blood, let me study about blood. How do y'all preach these messages and call yourself a preacher and you ain't got no resources? Come on, not in the 21st century, preacher. No. We're not in the 1500s. This is not slavery when they were standing up there and y'all saw, those movies and the preachers just standing up there and all they got is the Bible. Them days is over. How is it that you call yourself a preacher, but you don't have, Elder Frazier, no books? Point number one. How shall they preach except they be sent? You got to have a passion for this thing. And that passion is going to want to make you invest in your ministry. That passion to preach that word. Because guess what that word does? It affects the lives of people. It affects the lives of people. It affects the lives of people. I'm already giving you point number one, Crawford. You're going to have to hang back. I'm giving you point number one right here. You got to be called to this thing and you have to have a passion. And what you do with that passion really determines whether or not God has really given you that passion to do it. What you do with it. You tell me a doctor, you don't go to school. Are you serious? I'm going to get up on the table and let you open me up? Are you serious right now? Where are your credentials? What is on the wall? What determines? What conference are you going to? What workshop are you going to? What books are you going to? Who do you follow? Who do you listen to? Who's a mentor? Who's a coach? Who is somebody that you go to help you grow in ministry? What a lot of preachers do is they listen to preachers so they can learn how they riff, how they go up the scales. Baby, that don't make you no preacher. Lord have mercy. How shall they preach except they be sent? The first thing I got to have is I got to have this calling. And if I have this calling, then I'm going to make sure I layer that calling because I want to grow in that calling. And I want to make sure I'm a blessing to the people that I go to. Because the second thing is, if I have this passion, point number two, right? How can they preach except they be sent? The person that's sending the preacher. I want y'all to listen to this. According to Romans 10 and 15, the person sending the preacher, which is God, guess what? If he's sending you with a message. If he's sending you, thank you, Pastor, with a message. He's sending you. Can I give y'all this? And y'all ain't gonna like this one right here. The message that God sends the preacher with is not always about prosperity. How is it that everything coming out your mouth is what people gonna get? Because everybody ain't getting houses and land. It's not gonna happen, people. It's not gonna happen, people. Everybody's not getting houses and land. Everybody's not going to get a husband. Everybody's not going to be a millionaire and get rich. Good to see you, Pastor Crenshaw. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So you can't tell me that God has called you to preach and everything coming out your mouth is about something natural. And when it comes to the spiritual things, you ain't got nothing to say. You ain't got nothing to say. You don't talk about their character. You're not drawing them closer to Christ, because a preacher is going to draw people closer to Christ. That's what a real preacher does. Because everything in it, what did Jesus say? Behold, I am in the volume of the book. A preacher is always driving people to Jesus. A preacher. And can I tell y'all this, pastors? That's what builds churches. That's what builds church. Don't tell me that Jesus says, Jesus said, if I be lifted up, I'll draw. If I be lifted up. And of course, that was meant literally being lifted up from the grave. But when you lift up the name of Jesus, he draws. He draws. Yes, he does. Oh, yes, he does. Okay? So, when God sends the preacher has a message. Preacher, if you don't have a message, then maybe you're not called to preach. Hey, there is my travel agent, Judy Lucas. Hello, Judy. Now, Judy's been my travel agent for almost 30 years, Judy. Can you believe this? If you're on Facebook, there's her name right there. I'm telling you, and I talk about her in my book. If you are a preacher and you're looking for a travel agent, listen, she could bless your life. If you want her to handle all your stuff in regard to these churches you got to go to and you don't have an administrator, Judy Lucas. Oh, I'm sorry, Judy Lucas. I thought that was Judy Branch. I'm sorry. She ain't even knowing here I'm talking about her, but she's the one. She's on Facebook. But Judy Lucas is not the person I'm talking to. But thank you for joining me, Judy Lucas. Okay, so here we go. God is sending you with a message. A message. Okay? A message. A message. A message. God is sending you with a message. God sends the preacher with a message. God sends the preacher with a message. This is point number 2. God sends the preacher with a message. How is every message coming out your mouth about what people going to get in the natural? That's why we need evangelists back. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. We need evangelists. Y'all, I'm telling you, we done messed up. We need the evangelists. Because the evangelist is straight up Christ-centered. An evangelist. Christ-centered. Everybody wants to prophesy in this hour. Everybody's a prophet. We done went prophet crazy. We done went prophet crazy in the church. And guess what? Maybe the church is not growing. And maybe we're recycling people because we don't have the evangelists anymore. Can I challenge pastors? Can I challenge you? Am I talking right, Bishop Evans? Can I challenge pastors this year, 2018, to get you an evangelist in your church? Can I challenge you to do that? I want to challenge every pastor that's watching me live or the replay to get you an evangelist in your church. I'm telling you, that evangelist can help you. And when I do this, when I do my teaching in the academy, I'm going to break down the fivefold ministry and what you should be doing. But I tell you right now, an evangelist helps a pastor build. That's what evangelist does. The evangelist. The pastor is stationary. The pastor is committed to the people. But that evangelist is moving. And guess what? That evangelist is concerned about souls, concerned about Dr. Rita Twiggs. If you don't have my book, I'm going to say this one more time. Dr. Rita Twiggs, when I wrote a section in my book on the minister and honorariums. I know people don't talk about it. I don't believe that anybody else other than myself has added this piece to their book. It's about the minister and honorariums and, really, how do you figure out the worth or the pay scale of this particular person? How do you pay this person? How do you pay this person? Okay, because guess what? Okay, you got to pay them. You got to pay them. An evangelist, for the most part, is in full-time ministry, This is what we do. But here's the thing I want to say to you. And I appreciate Dr. Rita Twiggs for helping me when I was writing that section. Because one of the things that she said in my book, and if you don't have it, again, you need to go to DeboraHooper.com. Let me put it closer so you can see it. Hooper's Evangelist and Minister's Handbook. Everything you need to know before you go. It's on my website. Okay, you need to get it. You need to get it. You can get the ebook, download it, and start reading it today. Bless your life. But one of the things that she said is, Hooper, one of the things the preacher does when they have honorariums, because the first part of honorariums is honor. So if your ministry isn't coming with honor, then you really shouldn't have an honorarium. Do I need to say that again? If your ministry isn't coming with honor, then why do you have an honorarium? You've been preaching for 2 years. Don't nobody even know you. And here's the piece that she said that blessed me. Here's the piece that she said that blessed me. The person who's coming in your church to preach, they bring their influence. They bring their influence. So when you're considering the honorarium, you have to ask yourself, let me see if I can go to that section real quick. Hold on, everybody. Let me go there. I love this. Let me see. Here it is. It's on page 139. 139. Okay. Here it is. She says the use of honorariums also serves these purposes, including but not limited to safeguarding integrity, blessing the ministry gift, safeguarding the ministry gift, recognizing God's anointing. Let me see. Is this the part I'm looking for? Oh, man. Oh, here it is. 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 Because they get arrived, reputation on the field, they have been called to full-time ministry. And lastly, they live by faith. Recognize and sowing seeds in the good soul, creating opportunity for the benefit for the body of Christ. There's something on here. Here it is. Their reputation. When you're considering a preacher, I'm sorry, you guys, I'm just looking at this section because this is so important. When you're considering a person and a person says, I have an honorarium, okay? Does their ministerial knowledge in a particular area benefit one's church with which there is visible, undeniable fruit? Their level of experience. Because when you start talking about honorariums, you're paying for experience. If you go to the doctor to get your tooth pulled and the doctor gives you a fee, that's an honorarium. It's a set price. That's all an honorarium is. It's a set price. You pay that price. Why? Because of the experience of the doctor. It's the same way with a preacher. When a preacher says they have an honorarium, there's an expectation that the preacher's going to do something. That the preacher's going to do something. And that preacher should be walking in with influence, with experience. That preacher walking in. Don't fumble with the ball. They don't have to. They can. That preacher, can I give y'all this? Can preach a sermon and nobody don't shout and it's still effective. She said something. That preacher, because a lot of times people think I got to make them shout. I got to make them shout. I got to make them shout. Sometimes when God deals with the preacher, you ain't going to make nobody shout. And the message is still effective because guess what? You know what you're doing with the text. God help me up in here today. I can't wait till the academy start. You know, because we're getting ready. Y'all know the next thing in February or March, we're going to be dealing with sermon preparation and delivery in the academy. Y'all can sit back if y'all want. You can play with your ministry if you want. But if you ain't in Bible school and you struggling, you don't know what to do, you might want to consider Hooper's Ministry Academy. You might want to get in it. If you say you a preacher, because that's all I want is preachers. Let me get to my third point so I can close this up. Let me just get to it. Here it is. Oh, okay. I just got, let me see what Pastor got. Okay. Here it is. The third one. The third one, The first one, every preacher ain't a preacher, right? The first one got to be called, got to have a passion, right? God's got to do the calling, okay? He's got to give you the passion. He's got to give you the passion. God's got to give it to you. Number two, when he gives you the passion, he gives you a message because he's going to send you. According to Romans 10 and 15, how shall they preach except they be sent? He's going to send you. So if he's going to send you somewhere, he must give you a message. He must give you a message. And you're going to need this book. And you're going to need some other books to craft that sermon. You got to craft that sermon. You just can't read a text and be like, oh, I'm going to run preach that. This is not about catchy phrases, y'all. Preaching is not about a catchy phrase. Am I talking to anybody? If I'm helping you already, somebody please put up on the screen UHMC. If you've been listening to me, I'm going to give y'all this last point and let y'all go. If you've been blessed by what I've been sharing already, please put on the screen UHMC. UHMC. My time is up. Here's number 3. If you're on Facebook, please put it up there. Because UHMC means you helping me coach. Here's the third one. Every preacher ain't a preacher. 1, you got to be called. 2, you got to be given a message. And here's number 3. You got to be given a people. You got to be given a message. Good to see you, overseer. But you also must be given a people. You say you're a preacher. You got to be given a message. Okay, that calling, yes. That passion, yes. And you got to be given a message. And then you got to be given a people. Now, here's where it gets real tricky for most of y'all. Because being given the message and being given the people may not always happen together. I want y'all to listen. Being given the message and being given the people does not always happen together. Because, and this is where I talk about preparation before elevation. Because sometimes God deals with you before he gives you the people. Because the message that he's giving you, here it is, y'all, is set for an appointed time. If you go preaching before your time and you are standing before the wrong congregation, your sermon will fall flat because you're out of sequence. You're out of time. God wasn't planning on releasing you. Am I talking right, NL? It's heavy. God wasn't planning on release. God called Moses and then released him for 40 years. Y'all ain't ready for this. Y'all not ready. I'm not saying you're going to be put on hold for 40 years. That's not what I'm saying to you. What I am saying to you is that whenever God calls a preacher, he gives you a people. He gives you a message and he gives you a people. That's why some people, when I talked about all of those heavy hitters that was before me, that was their season. You don't see them doing as much as they was doing before. You don't see me doing as much as I was doing before because he gives you your message for people. He gives you a message for people. Now, here's another thing. I can give y'all this nugget. Some of y'all that are called to preach, when God gives you a people, your people may not be public. Your people may not be a big crowd. Lord have mercy. I'm teaching good. Somebody better sow me a seed. Somebody better go to DeboraHooper.com and sow a seed because I'm teaching real good right here. I'm teaching real good. Some people are not, everybody's not going to the crowd. Why is everybody trying to go to the pulpit? Here, these are the things you have to ask yourself. These are the things you got to get from God. Is my ministry public? Y'all better get my book. I talk about it. Y'all can play with this book if you want to. That's why some of y'all are frustrated in your ministry because you're looking for God to do something that he has not even called you to do. Everybody is not public. Everybody, I done said it all 2017. I don't care what they prophesy. Everybody is not going to the nations. They're not. All of y'all ain't going. Prophets, please stop telling all these people they're going to the nations because everybody, please tell tell them that some of y'all are going, because everybody's not going to the nation. Everybody is not. Some of y'all ain't even equipped. Some of y'all are introverts. You're not even extroverts. Some of y'all don't even know what to, if you walked on a big stage and saw 10,000 people, you wouldn't even know what to do. You can't be freezing up, stumbling over your words. Everybody's not going to the nation, but that don't mean that God don't have a people assigned to you. Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me, Periscope? It still doesn't mean that God don't have a people assigned to you. Facebook, are you listening to me? It still doesn't mean that God doesn't have a people assigned to you. But you got to make sure that the message and the people are the same. Jonah, I need you to go over to Nineveh now. Esther, here now, you have come into the kingdom for such a time as this. Am I talking Bible right now? If I'm helping you, put on the screen, because I'm getting ready to close. UHMC, you helping me coach. Because some of y'all are looking for something that God's not giving you. Maybe it's simply not your time. Can I give y'all this? Maybe it's time for preparation. Maybe what God is doing right now, Pastor, what God is doing right now, preacher, is preparing you, not releasing you. Lord have mercy. I can't no more. I'm done for the day. Maybe it's not time for you to be released. Maybe it's time for you to be prepared. And maybe Hooper's Ministry Academy is the platform where you can get prepared. Let me spare you thousands of dollars. I can't give you a degree, but I can give you a whole lot of information. I can do that. I can do that. If you want a degree, when you get ready to get your degree, you go on and get it. But I guarantee you, when you sit in that seat, you're going to say O to the M to the G. Dr. Hooper told me this. The ministry coach told me this, because I done been to Bible school. I'm giving you what they gave me. I'm giving you what they gave me. Okay? So I'm saying to y'all, everybody is not a preacher. And what we need in this particular hour is preachers. Can somebody, if y'all know I'm preaching right, somebody give me some hearts, somebody give me some emojis, somebody say amen. We need preachers. Where are the preachers? I hear the hollering. I hear the screaming. I see you going up the scales. I see you fancy. Yes, you look good. You got on the right hair. I see you. I see you. But what's missing, preacher, is the content. Content. Where's the content? Where is the sermon that makes me walk away and change my life? Where is the sermon that makes me want to know more about God? Where is the sermon that makes me want to stop doing what I'm doing? Where is that sermon? Where is the sermon that's irresistible when I get finished hearing you? Where is the opportunity when I get finished hearing you? I got to talk to that preacher, because I got to tell that preacher, you bless my life. I want that preacher. Where is that preacher? I want that preacher. That's what I want to hear in 2018. That's what I want to hear in 2018. I don't just want to be shouting in 2018. I don't just want to be running in 2018. I don't just want to be hollering and screaming and you done stood up there for 2 hours. I want a message that's going to impact my life. I want to hear a preacher. I want them to know they were sent. I want them to know they got a message, and I want them to know that they were designed to talk to me. That's what I want to know, because the message is relevant. It is tailored to the times. Where is that preacher? Where is that preacher? I want impact, Shawgrave. That's what I'm talking about. Where is that preacher? Preacher, that's what you want to be saying. God, where's the message? What is the word? I remember preaching a sermon and taking the same word. God could give me a word for 2018. And guess what? Different text, same word. Different text, same word. Because when you get in the face of God as a preacher, he'll say, this is what I'm saying to my people in this hour. This is what I'm saying to my people. Oh, Lord, somebody sow a seed. Please, please, if God bless you on this, please go to DeboraHooper.com on the first page and say, I got to give her $5, $10. I got to tell this woman of God, you helped me today. Because some of y'all, this is stirring some of y'all's spirit. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. Because guess what? I don't know about you, but I'm tired of going somewhere and I don't really hear a preacher. I want to hear a preacher. I want to know they were sent. I want to know you concerned about my soul. I want to know that you impacted my life. Where is that preacher? You gave me 3 points. You spoke it real nice. Guess what? That's real nice. But I want something life-changing. I want something that's going to say, are you serious right now? That's in the Bible? Hold on a minute. I want something that's going to make me, while you sitting there, I don't want to go to church and I'm on Facebook. I don't want to go to church and I'm on Twitter. I don't want to go to church and I'm just taking pictures. Lord have mercy. Where is the preacher? Can I tell you all this? How come on Sundays we got more videos on Sunday night with you shouting and less videos with the preacher? Why is that? Why is that? Why is that? I'm going to say it again. We got more preachers. We got more videos with y'all dressed up and more videos with y'all shouting. Oh, we can get tons of videos with y'all shouting. But what if we had more videos with preachers and people were sharing saying, oh my God, you got to hear this word. Oh my God, this woman of God, this man of God. Where is that at? Where is that? That's what I want. Where is that? The other day, I've been calling my friends. I'm like, where is this preacher? Where is the new girl? And everybody's saying, you got to hear this sister right here. That's why I'm going to hold on to the tradition. Hooper, go up in there with your black dress on. I'm not trying to be fancy. I'm not coming in with the red bottoms. And I got a few pairs. If you're a size 40 or a size 9 and you want to buy them, I got a few for you to buy. But I ain't bringing that in the pulpit. Guess what? I'm here to work. I'm here to do the work of the Lord. I'm here to do ministry. Where is the preacher? Is what we want. That's what I want to know. Where's she at? Where's she at? Where's she at? Because she didn't come to show you the newest hairstyle. She didn't come to show you the new lipstick. She didn't come to show you the new suit that she got. And she posing it up on Instagram. No, she came to preach. Somebody need to hashtag that. She came to preach. She came to preach. I don't want to be guilty. Can I tell you this right now? I don't want to be guilty of other women. Just women in ministry. I don't want to be guilty, Apostle, of other women being inspired to preach because they're thinking to themselves, I like the way Hooper dress. Ooh, Hooper, when I become a preacher, I'm going to dress just like you. That's an indictment. That's nothing to be proud of. I want somebody coming to me saying, how did you flip that? Where did you get that nugget from? What books you reading? What does it take? What is a consecrated life? How do you discipline yourself? That's what I want. That's what I want. That's a preacher. I remember when I used to sit, when I first started off in ministry, Jackie McCullough was an evangelist. She's a bishop now. She was an evangelist, and I went to a church in the Bronx. And so I remember when I used to sit in my seat, y'all, and I used to say to myself, how in the world she making me feel like I walked around the walls of Jericho and I'm sitting right here? How in the world she making me feel like that? How in the world? Can I tell y'all this? I remember the sermon 20 years ago. She preached a sermon about Lazarus. It stinks. I still remember it. Can I tell y'all this? Oftentimes when we go to church on Sunday, guess what? Guess what, y'all? We don't even remember what the pastor preached on Tuesday. Lord have mercy. We don't even remember. We don't even remember what the pastor preached or the piece the preacher preached. When a preacher preaches a sermon, you ought to be driving that sermon, impacting that sermon so much that guess what? Everybody walked out and they say, baby, let me tell you what she preached. Let me tell you what she preached. They can tell you the points. They can tell you the highlights. They can tell you the book. They can tell you the character. Am I talking to anybody right now? Because I got to get up off here, but I'm feeling something stirring right now. And I hope this is blessing some of y'all preachers out here. Get in this book. In 2018, preacher, get in this doggone book. It's time for you to get in it. And you're going to need some resources. You're going to need some resources to do this. You're going to need some resources to rightly divide this. You're going to need some prayer time to do this. You're going to need some fasting to do this. You're going to need to be connecting with some other people that's passionate about this word to do this. And can I tell y'all this in my closing, in my conclusion? Can I just tell y'all this? When you do that, your gift will make room for you. When you do that, your gift, your clothes is not making room for you. Your hair is not making room for you. Your face beat is not making room for you. Your gift will make room for you. That's the scripture. Your gift, they will seek you out. You fall up in there with a rhema word. You fall up in there with the power of God. You fall up in there with a text and a sermon that's so power-packed. And I guarantee you, you'll be right back there next week. You'll be right back there next year. You'll be right back. They'll be calling their friends and say, listen, Doc, listen. Am I talking right? Listen, Doc, you got to hear her. You got to get her. Your gift will make room for you. Your gift. When you invest in your gift, I remember going to Bible school. My friends was going to movies, but I was going to Bible school. My friends had boyfriends, but I was going to Bible school. My friends was getting married, but I was going to Bible school. And I felt a little uneasy about it, but the Lord said, this is where you are right now. This is what I want you to do right now. And before you know it, I start taking off. I was going places that I didn't even know the people. I'm like, how do I remember going to my first church, Bishop Abney Church. That was the first time I got on a plane. And can I tell y'all this? I got in the hotel room and fell on the floor and started crying. Oh my God. I didn't know that God would use me like this. Because people were on the phone saying, you got to get this woman of God. She got a word in her mouth. And I don't know a pastor out here. And all you pastors, you talk back to me right now if I'm wrong. I don't know a pastor out here that don't want a visiting preacher standing in a pulpit that got a word from God. I don't know no pastor. I don't know no pastor that don't want their sheep to be fed. I don't know no pastor that don't want their sheep to be blessed. I don't know no pastor that don't want their people to grow spiritually. I don't know no pastor that don't want a preacher that's going to encourage and build the house. I don't know no pastor. So don't tell me what your gift won't do. This social media preachers got us focusing on the wrong doggone thing. They got to focusing on how we look. That's a whole text. A whole text. We're not concerned about how he looked. Homeboy going up and down, up and down. The prophet is up and down, up and down. It's not him. It's not him. It's not him. But yet it's the little ruddy guy over there. It's the guy that was in the field perfecting his gift. It's that guy. He gonna be the next king. It's that guy. It's Esther. She gonna be the next queen. The girl that was getting prepared. The girl, the orphan, the one y'all least expected. She was getting prepared. Have you ever looked at the book of Esther? Before y'all start talking, let me give you. I now come back Facebook. I can't look at all them comments, but I'm coming back. Let me give y'all this. Because y'all so busy rushing. If you haven't shared this live stream, I need you to pass share right now. I need you to tap it. Facebook, tap that share button. Periscope, tap those 3 buttons. Folks is home and they ain't trapped in the snow and they didn't go to school, they didn't go to work. Guess what? They need to hear this if they a preacher. Let me give you this. Y'all so busy focusing in on Esther became queen. Esther became queen. Everybody so hung up. You forgot about the process, preacher. I want you to go back. Go back today. Look at the book of Esther, and this is the piece I want you to pay attention to. How she had to prepare herself for a whole year. A whole year, she went nowhere. She went nowhere. You cannot be prepared for the people until you get the message. God, help me up in here today. It's the message, then the people. It's the message, then the people. And in order for me to get the message, I need some preparation. I need some training. I need development. And when they call my name, I want to be ready. I don't want to be fumbling with the ball. Oh, what did she say? I can't remember. What am I going to preach? They want me to get up right now and have words. I walk in the church. Well, Dr. Hooper got something to say and I'm in my mind. Oh, I'm trying to run out the building because I can't come up with a sermon. If you've been prepared, you got it. You got it. And this year is about being a no-surface preacher. I'm going to focus a lot on sermon preparation. I'm going to do a whole month sermon preparation. Esther was prepared. Hey, Pencil. Esther was prepared. Moses was prepared. Joshua, somebody put it on the screen earlier, was prepared. Saul was prepared. You got the Apostle Paul that wrote 14 doggone books of the New Testament. How did he do that if he wasn't prepared? The disciples was prepared. Jesus told them, don't even come out of the upper room. Don't even come out of this room. Talking about you going somewhere to preach. You going to win the world for me. Do not come out of this room. But you know what the problem with us? And then some of y'all could take this one and run and teach it. You know the problem with many of us? We going out of the room too fast. The fire didn't even fall, but you out the room. God, I need a revival right now. The fire didn't fail, but you out the room. The fire, you ain't even get the fire, but you out the room. Did you hear that, Mackenzie? You didn't even get the fire, but you out the room. My. You done ran out the room and you didn't even get the fire yet. But you think you getting ready to go worldwide. Can I tell you this right here, preacher? Bam, wrong answer. Wrong answer, preacher. Everything in the Bible, preparation first. It's the preparation. God will give you the passion. He will give you the passion. But just because he gives you the passion doesn't mean that it's time. Preparation. And I want to encourage you for 2018, be prepared when your moment comes. Because the moment is coming whether you're prepared or not. That's why some of y'all look at other preachers and you feeling frustrated and you crying out to God and all kind of stuff and you all mad. Because guess what? Your season is here, but you can't go nowhere because you ain't prepared. God ain't sending nobody somewhere to speak on his behalf that don't have a message. Y'all ain't ready. He sends. He sends. He sent. How shall they preach except they be sent? How shall they preach? He sends, people. He sends. He sends. You can hashtag that. He sends. He sends. He's got to send you. And when he sends you, he gives you a message. I'm not on here by happenstance. I'm on here because I'm on an assignment to help people that's been praying, saying, God, I got the passion and I know you called me to do this, but I need some help. That's why I'm on here, to help some people. And you can let the moment pass by and you can play with your ministry if you want, but you're the one that's going to be frustrated. You keep letting social media fool you and make you think that God's going to send you on a platform with nothing coming out your mouth. He don't do that, preacher. He don't do that. He don't do that. And I'm going to flip it the other way and I'm going to tell you this. Ain't no way you can invest in your ministry and he don't give you a platform. You invest in your ministry and watch God. Watch him work. Forget about you. Watch him work. What did the prophet say to the woman? What do you have in your house? She said, I only got a little bit of oil, a little bit of cake or what. Give me what you had. What did they say when they got out in the desert? All he's got is 2 fishes and 5 loaves of bread. Then give me what you had. When you give God something, he'll give you back something. When you give God something, he'll give you back something. You got to give him your time. You got to give him the preparation period. You got to give him the training period. You got to give it to him. The problem with preachers today is we let y'all get in the pulpit. Nobody has said nothing. You're getting up there and you don't have no content. You don't have no content. You say the same things over and over. Warmed up sermons. No revelation. No anointing. No power. No impact. It don't even get you excited. It don't even resonate with you. You ain't got no resources. You told me something I done heard the story of the 3 Hebrew boys since I was a child. You standing before me, you done been in ministry, you told me 10 years. You ain't got nothing new to say about that text? And I'm not talking about taking it out of context. You ain't got nothing new. You don't even know what the original names of the boys was. You don't even know what their names meant because you ain't got the books for it. Lord have mercy. You ain't even got the books for it. Nebuchadnezzar. What that mean? Who was he? Who was he? I was looking at Game of Thrones. How many of y'all watch Game of Thrones? I got to wrap this up, but I'm for real. You know, Noel Jones said you get about 8 times to conclude. It was a joke, and I kind of use it. But I'm going to wrap up with this for real. And I appreciate y'all time. I know it was a snow day, so I figured we'd be on here for a little while. I might come back on here tonight. But how many of y'all seen Game of Thrones? If you seen Game of Thrones, say me. And for those of y'all that are new to me, my name is Dr. Debora Hooper. I am the ministry coach. I come on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm dropping ministry nuggets to help you get results in ministry. Turn on your notifications, like my Facebook page, and continue to follow me on Periscope. I appreciate your time today. But I want to know real quick, how many of y'all watch Game of Thrones? Game of Thrones. Say me. Put it on the screen. I gotta know. And thank you for those of you that are joining the academy. The academy will be open until Monday. So if you thinking about it, DeboraHooper.com. Go check it out. Come on. If you watch Game of Thrones, I need y'all to say me. I didn't really hear nobody say it. I don't see nobody putting it on the screen, so I'm thinking y'all don't watch it. But, you know, it was all the buzz, right? And so I had decided I was going to watch it. I said, let me see what these people talking about with this show. Because everybody go crazy with this show. Every time it comes on, it's trending on Twitter, which I love Twitter. I'm a big Twitter fan more than I'm a Facebook fan. So, you know, so I started watching it. So I don't even know. Maybe I got down to like the 7th season or something like that, right? I may even catch up today because this is a snow day, but I think I'm going to do some administrative work. But anyway, here's the point. Y'all. They were going like into the enemy's camp. I don't remember everybody's names. It's like these 7 thrones and they be fighting and all kind of foolishness, right? And so one of the particular kingdoms, right? They were going into another kingdom's camp. And so one of them, the advantage that they had is that they had this big giant that was like 12 feet tall. So when I saw him come on the screen, I was like, oh my God. And you know what popped in my mind? Goliath. For the first time in my life, it gave me a vision of what David was going up against. And I was like, wow. And it helped me to even more so understand why the people were so terrified. And they didn't, remember the Bible talk about they didn't go out and they had this giant Goliath. Y'all remember the text? Come on, y'all preachers. And I'm thinking to myself, now I understand. But David and his little ruddy self was like, I'll go fight him. And I'm thinking, because I'm looking at this big giant on Game of Thrones, and I'm like, wow. And Saul is saying, take my armor, take this, take my helmet, take my jacket, take my sword. And David's like, I don't need all that, I'm good. I'm going to go out there with these 5 smooth stones and I'm going to take the brother out. But it was the size of Goliath. When I got that vision, it helped me to understand the text even more. So when I'm preaching the text, guess what? I can help the people see the picture better of when you really have a giant in your life, but you feel so small. Oh, y'all ain't ready for this today. Y'all, and that's what books do. That's what training and having somebody around you, they can teach you how God can show you things to make the text come alive, to help you to see the picture better. Exactly, Clarion. And I'm saying to you, listen, in this hour, preacher, you want to be what I call a no-surface preacher. You want to be that preacher that when people are listening to you, you so deep and entrenched in that word that it impacts people so much so that they're like, oh my God. I'm gonna take one of my sermons. There's a sermon I preach to women. Getting to the heart of the matter. I'm going to take that sermon. I'm going to put that sermon on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining the academy. KWVC. And all of you that are watching me that joined, make sure you go back to the page that say get started, because I need some information from you so I can put you in the system. But I'm going to put that sermon on there because I just kind of want you to hear. I want you to hear the text of Hagar and what I do with that text. There's some of you that bought my sermon, Ignore Them. Powerful sermon. You never heard the story of Jairus and the woman with the issue of blood until you hear that sermon. Go to my website and purchase that sermon. Get the audio so you can download it and you can hear it today while it's snowing, and you get your hot chocolate and get up in your lazy chair and listen to this girl right here preaching. And that's what I want to do with you. I want to get you to the point that you got your resources, and I'm training your mind to think through this text. Teaching you how to ask questions, how to look for details without taking the text out of context. I want preachers. I believe in this day and hour that there need to be a stronger demand for preachers. For preachers that will stand in the pulpit and preach that word so much so that our lives really begin to change. We got to go back to that. Preachers. Pastors, we got to go back to that. We have to go back to that. Maybe that's why our churches are declining in numbers. Because we're not preaching. We're not impacting. When the woman at the well heard Jesus, she said, you got to go hear this man. That's my prayer. My name is Dr. Debora Hooper. I am the ministry coach. Again, I'm on Tuesdays and Thursdays right here. Just dropping some nuggets to encourage you in ministry, all pastors, anybody that handles the ministry of the word or serve those that handle the ministry of the word. I pray that you are blessed today. If you like to sow a seed, you can feel free to do that at deborahhooper.com. You can join my email list if you are interested. Again, my heart is really for those, and I need you to hear this. The Hooper's Ministry Academy, where my heart is for those preachers who are struggling. And they're saying, I need some help. I'm pastoring, but I don't have anybody. I'm preaching, but I'm struggling. I know God has called me to do this, but I'm not sure how to do it. Invest in your ministry. Give me 1 year to speak in your life. Give me 1 year to train you. Just give me one. Give me one. Pray about it. God, is this the answer to your prayer? Is this the woman that you're sending in my life? Is this the person? Is this the voice I need in this hour? Go look at my website and look at the product and ask yourself, do I need this type of product? Is this what I need? Can this person train me to do what I need? Purchase something. Listen to me. Pray about it. See what God has to say. Because I want the people, and I told the Lord, I'm not out here trying to fish for everybody. I'm not. But I do want the people that want ministry, that value ministry, that have had ministry on their hearts and mind, and they've been praying, God, please help me. Help me, Lord, because I need some serious help. Maybe you don't have the money to travel to the conference. Maybe you don't have the money for the hotel. You can't spend three nights somewhere. You just don't have it. Maybe you started a church and your church is small and you need ideas to get it off the ground and you need some help. Maybe you're that person that you just want to get some. How do they do it? I need help. I want to learn. I need to sit at the feet with somebody. I need to choose the good part. I need to go somewhere. I need preparation. I need to fall back and get preparation. And I need to invest in my ministry more because I'm looking for results, but I haven't invested. How can I look for a return on something that I have not invested in? I can do what I do, brothers and sisters, as a ministry coach because I invested. I'm qualified to sit here theologically and spiritually and practically. I'm qualified to sit here. And I know there's some other people out there, but I know God has assigned me in this hour. And I said yes to God. I know it's a lot, but I said yes to God. When I get finished talking to y'all, I'm about to pass out. And I've been talking for almost 2 hours. But I know I'm on assignment. And this window of opportunity is going to close. I used to keep my academy open all year. I'm not doing that anymore. You got to start here. We're starting at the top. I want you, even if you can't make the class every week, but when you join, you get the download. So you can hear my voice. You can hear my voice. You can hear what God is saying to you. What's new in ministry? Do you know? Suppose, you know, I was in McDonald's. I went to the McDonald's in my neighborhood. And while I was in McDonald's, when I got there, I was like, ooh, they done changed this McDonald's right here. Y'all notice y'all been to McDonald's lately? They done changed how it looks. Then I was driving when I left the McDonald's and they put a Taco Bell near me, and I love Taco Bell because I love Mexican food. But they put Taco Bell, and guess what? Here it is, y'all. I looked at that and I said, ooh, they done changed how that look. Then I went by Wendy's. They done changed how that look. Pastor Thompson, you in the neighborhood, you know, on Central Avenue. And I'm looking at these eateries, these drive-thrus. They're changing. You go inside. The whole landscape of it has changed. And you know what I said to myself? Even going through the airport, noticing how the airports, nowadays, you go in the airport, tap, 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 tap. That's how you order your food. You tap it, you pay, and somebody just bring it. And you know what I said to myself, though? What about the church? What about the church? What about the church? What about the church? Some of y'all got pews. Maybe you need to take the pews out and put some chairs in it. Maybe you need to change the backdrop. Maybe you need to come off the pulpit, the high platform, and be on the floor. Maybe you need to come away from, the big podium and get something that moves. Maybe you need to put down the mic and get a lapel. I'm just saying, if you heard another voice in your ministry that you can hear every month, share these ideas with you, what would that do for your church? What would it do for your ministry? You cannot do what you don't know, preacher. You can't. I don't care how anointed you are. If you don't know it, you can't do it. And here's the other thing I often say. You can't give what you don't have. You can't. And so a lot of us are going to remain behind the 8 ball because we're not willing to invest the thing that God has given us a passion for. I don't want to be guilty of that. So I'm done for the day. I appreciate everybody have joined me today. I love my academy members. Thank you all so much for hanging there with me all day. All of my Perry preachers. Perry preachers are people on Periscope. I got to get a name for my Facebook preachers. But my Perry preachers are, preachers that's on Periscope. They've been with me, for the last several years. We've been on here we got an anniversary coming up. But Periscope, Facebook, thank you so much. I'm not your drama queen preacher. I don't come on with a whole lot of drama and the foolishness. I come on to do ministry. So y'all don't see me posting all the time because I'm not trying to get in the fray of that. I come on to help those that want to fulfill the will of God in their life when it comes to ministry. This is what I do. My name is Dr. Debora Hooper, and I am the ministry coach. God bless you, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a great day. I'm going to upload that video on Facebook about getting to the heart of the matter, and I pray that you be blessed. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Well, I'll be back this weekend because I want to talk to you about joining the academy. We close on Monday unless the Lord say different, but we're going to close on Monday, and we got some other changes that we're going to be making as well. There's some changes coming down the pipe. Willie Tarbert, again, he's going to be coming on. If you look at the flyer that I put up, this business of ministry. He's going to be one of the persons that's going to be coming on when we talk about that. Y'all know that the tax laws are changing. Some of y'all want to start churches, and you can talk to him now. He's right here on Facebook, right on the timeline. So you can talk to him. His name is Willie Talbot. You don't have to wait for the class, or you can go to my website at deborahhooper.com, and you can also look at what we did on last year. There's a lot of product out there, but when it comes to this business of music, this business of ministry, we're going to talk about that as well, because guess what? There's a business side. If you're gonna be a pastor, and if you're not a pastor, you're going to be a preacher, you're going out to preach, the business side, what you got to sign, why you got to sign it, what you got to do with it, where do I go, and what if I need to amend? What if I need to amend? There's a lot of stuff that we need to talk about when it comes to ministry. Can I tell you this? And I talk about this in my book. For those of you that are just coming on and you're not aware of my book, please go check it out on my website. It does come in an ebook. We don't have any more paperbacks right now, but you can go to Amazon and you can order it. But can I just say this to y'all? I just lost my choo-choo. Oh, yes. Hey, there's one of my people. I love you, Kizzy. Can I say this to y'all? When it comes to preaching, it's only 10% of ministry. Preaching. Any pastor will tell you, if you coming into this because you think you're going to preach, you're going to be sadly mistaken. Because preaching is only going to be 10% of it. You better be sure you called. I'm going to teach that class. You might want to join the academy for it, because it's going to be more than what you think it is. It's going to be more. You got to marry the wed and bury the dead and everything in between. So if you excited that you starting the church because you want to preach, you might not want to do that. You might not want to do that, preacher. Don't start no church because you want to preach. Go in the shower and go work it out. Let me get out of here. I love y'all. We'll talk to you later on this week. I may come back on tonight. I used to do a thing, Hooper After Dark. I may come back on. I'm going to come back on later. It's a snow day. Everybody's kind of hanging out. Let me go see what's going on outside, what I got to do. I love y'all. Thank you so much. If you don't join my academy, at least go to my website at deborahhooper.com and join my email list. I don't send you out a lot of stuff all the time. I just kind of give you updates, what's going on, that type of thing. Please stay connected with me. Like my Facebook page and also follow me on Periscope. The Lord love you and I love you too. God bless everybody. Bye-bye. Thank you.